Hi, this is Gemma. I wanted to talk about self-worth and confidence and rejection, which I never see as rejection, I see as redirection, because it's such a massive topic for a lot of people. And more often than not, people believe that if something happens in the outside environment, um, it's a reflection of them being not good enough. And I just wanted to remind you that it's not a reflection of your worth or your value. If someone breaks up with you, it's not a reflection of your worth or your value. If you don't get the job that you want, it's not a reflection of your worth or your value. It's just not the right fit for you at this time. It doesn't mean that that won't change in the future or that something better's not going to come along. I wanted to share, I used to draw tarot cards, well, an oracle set, and I wanted to share a couple of those drawings with you that touch on some of these themes, because sometimes it's easy to see it in visual. So this is one that I did actually title Rejection, and you can see that she's gone to this door. They've turned her away. She's walking away crying with a hood up, feeling really rejected and sad, and probably questioning her self-worth. But the thing is, it's always a redirection. Like, what if the universe is wiser than our relatively small human minds? And what if we don't know what's best? We just think we know what's best because we have a filter of life and we think we know, like, the best thing for our needs and the best, like, want our desires. But what if there's a plan that's redirecting you in the way to fulfill all these things for you in a better way? Because how often do we look back and see something, especially with relationships, when you're reflecting, and then you think, oh gosh, I'm glad I'm not in that anymore. But at the time, you thought that's what you wanted and you thought that was the best thing for you. And you've been redirected, and now you're on a different path and different things have happened, and now you can see that that wasn't the best thing for you. So when something like that happens, it just means it's not the right fit for you. You know, even if someone does break up with you and you think, oh, I must be an awful partner or an awful person, it's just that the energy isn't working, or their needs might be different from what you can give them, and your needs might be different from what they can give you, or you might be playing into some toxic dynamic. But for whatever reason, it's not a reflection of your worth or your value. That's always there, whatever's happening. And maybe if you don't get a job, maybe you don't have the knowledge base yet for that job. It's still not a reflection of your worth or your value. It's a redirection that maybe you can deepen your knowledge or something on something, or it's a redirection that maybe that's not the right job for you. Maybe there's a better one coming up in a couple of months. So there's a lot about trust, about trusting in the process and trusting in the universe, and trusting that things are unfolding the way they're supposed to. But if you have a good value of yourself and your self-worth, your go-to thought shouldn't be, I'm not good enough and that's why I didn't get this, that's why this person doesn't want me, that's why I've been put on the outside. Your first thought shouldn't be those things. If it is, there's work to be done on confidence and self-worth. And if other people tell you this, because, you know, people can be really shit, and they can say you're not worth anything. If you have a good level of self-confidence and value, those words will go right over your head. They won't resonate with you. It will go like, skimming a stone over a pond. They won't sit with you because you have this belief that you are worthy. And you'll recognize that this person's saying it because of their own filter of life and their own beliefs about the world and what people should be. So what can we do to kind of change this, to kind of start increasing the self-confidence? And I'm doing this as a person who had none. Go back to when I was about 17, my confidence was on the floor. I would have believed all of those things. I had no self-worth at all. So I've had to build this up over 22 years. And I've read a lot of self-help books, and I've done a lot of practices and a lot of meditations. Affirmations are amazing. So I would recommend, if you don't know where to start with some affirmations. If you don't know what affirmations are, these are short statements that you tell yourself every day. You know, this self-talk that we have in our brains where we're having conversations with ourselves in our head and telling ourselves that we're no good and that we're stupid and that, you know, we should have done this better and should have done that instead. If you recognize that starts to happen, stop it. Stop the process when you're aware it's happening and replace it with an affirmation. Now, the affirmation has to be in the present tense because that's what your brain recognizes as an instruction. It's happening now, not in the past and not in the future. Not I will be confident, because your brain is always going to place that something in the future and you're never going to get it because it's always going to be in the future. So it's a literal statement in the present. I am confident, and you won't believe it because you might not be confident now. And you might feel stupid because you know it's not true what you're saying because you don't feel like that. But this is a process, right? We're starting on changing the way your brain thinks. Like it's not going to happen the first time. You'd have to do this for at least 1 month, 2 months to notice changes consistently. So I challenge you to do this. And pick the word that resonates with you the most. So it could be I am lovable. If you feel like you're unlovable, go for the opposite. I am lovable. I am capable. I am confident. I am worthy. And if you're really stuck, this is a really good go-to one. I love and accept myself exactly as I am right now. So I challenge you to start some affirmations. If you're feeling low self-worth, please do them every day as much as you can, consistently in your head, and stick at this for at least a month to start seeing that your perceptions of yourself can change. But it's not something you do for a little while and stop. It's something lifelong. I do it still all the time in my head, telling myself positive things. I am safe. I am capable. I am worthy. So try that. Let me know how you get on. I hope that helped.